This right here might be the biggest moment Baton Rouge rap has ever seen. We're talking about a city that raised straight legends and raw storytellers like Lil Boosie, Kevin Gates, Fredo Bang, and of course NBA YoungBoy. These ain't just rappers. These are giants who carved whole eras in Baton Rouge, each one running their own side, their own people, their own block. Now, if you don't know the background, let me paint the picture. These dudes been clashing for years. Baton Rouge don't move like Atlanta where everybody's jumping on each other's tracks and stacking chart toppers together. It ain't like Houston either, where unity put the whole sound on the map. And it for sure ain't like Memphis where linking up boosted everybody's name. Nah, Baton Rouge is a war zone of its own. Down here, it's about your hood, your clique, and exactly where you stand. That's the code, and it runs deep. And because of that code, we got cheated out of history. Imagine Boosie and Kevin Gates dropping a full project together. Imagine NBA YoungBoy and Fredo Bang turning beef into anthems instead of sneak disses, or even Boosie and Fredo teaming up. That collab would have been Louisiana gold, but it never saw daylight. Instead, what we got was years of shots, grudges, and missed chances that could have changed the rap game forever. We even caught glimpses of what might have been. There was that brief moment NBA YoungBoy linked with Kevin Gates, and the fans went crazy thinking a new era was coming. But just like that, it collapsed. The vibe flipped, words got thrown, and the bond snapped. From that point on, silence and distance filled the space for years. But here's the wild part. Just weeks ago, the energy shifted again. I broke it down in a previous piece, but trust me, this story runs deeper than anybody expected. Baton Rouge, a city scarred by beef and old wounds, suddenly started showing cracks in the wall, and that could change everything. Fast forward just a month or two back, Boosie celebrating new life, holding his newborn baby, stepping into a fresh chapter, and right in the middle of that joy, NBA YoungBoy himself reaches out. No manager, no whispers, no maybe. YB hits Boosie direct and says, yo, you can drop the tape we recorded. Let that sink in. That ain't just studio talk, that's a straight up peace offering. A bridge nobody thought would ever get built. And Boosie, he instantly knew the play. Having YoungBoy's name tied to a project is like printing cash. Automatic streams, major exposure, a whole new audience waiting to tap in. This wasn't smoke and mirrors either. Everything was official this time. Paperwork signed, features cleared, business in order. Doors that had been locked for years suddenly flew wide open. But hold up, that ain't even the craziest twist. Just yesterday, in his sit down with DJ Vlad, Boosie let loose a bombshell that shook the whole culture. He revealed that he, NBA YoungBoy, Kevin Gates, and Fredo Bang were all on a four-way FaceTime call. Picture that. Four of the heaviest names Baton Rouge ever produced, men split apart for years by beefs, betrayals, and street codes, all staring at each other on the same phone screen. That's history right there. Something fans thought they'd never see actually happen. And Boosie kept it real. He didn't downplay a thing. He admitted being on that call hit him deep, especially with everything weighing on him lately. Between family battles, personal struggles, and those legal cases breathing down his neck, that unity meant something bigger than music. For Boosie, it wasn't about chasing charts or stacking streams. That call was about healing scars, breaking walls, and realizing the fight was never bigger than the legacy. Now let's slide over to Kevin Gates. We all remember his wild moments, the infamous kick that went viral and even landed him behind bars. That clip is stamped in hip-hop history forever, but behind the headlines, Gates always carried a different type of vibe, spiritual, unpredictable, but always generous. He's the type to pull up on somebody he don't even know, drop knowledge, throw them on a track, and flip their whole life around overnight. That's why so many young rappers look up to him, praying for that cosign, because Gates gives chances when no one else will. But here's the twist. That same generosity is what sparked his friction with NBA YoungBoy in the first place. YB came up under Gates, looked at him like a mentor, but when he branched off and took his own lane, Gates felt the love wasn't mutual. That stung, and it turned into cold shoulders, subliminal shade, and years of silence between the two. But now, that's all dead and gone. On that FaceTime call, those walls got knocked down. And hold up, it gets even bigger. Fredo Bang and NBA YoungBoy. Now that beef wasn't some goofy internet trolling. This was real bloodline tension. Lives were lost, shots were fired, families were broken, mothers crying, funerals back to back, whole neighborhoods split in half because of their war. For years, that animosity fueled Baton Rouge rap, kept fans divided, and kept the streets on edge. But fast forward to now, those same two men, Fredo and YB, sat on that FaceTime call, laughing, talking, chopping it up like brothers. That ain't just a convo. That's growth on a level Baton Rouge has never seen before. That's maturity. That's two men choosing to bury the past, knowing that the future only happens if you stop dragging old pain with you. And if you've been watching YB lately, the proof is right there in front of us. Ever since he came home, the man's energy shifted heavy. He ain't on that reckless crash out mode no more. Something inside him clicked. He's moving with vision now, not just surviving, but thriving, thinking worldwide. He's carrying himself like a rock star because that's exactly what he is. $100,000 a show, numbers off the charts, his reach global, and deep down, he knows he can't keep wasting it all on old beefs and street drama. That maturity is showing clear as day. And then you got Boosie. Man, think about his life for a second. This dude has walked through fire over and over again. Murder cases, prison bids, betrayals, shady industry politics, health scares, personal heartbreaks, and yet he's still standing tall, still dropping music, still feeding his fan base, still moving like a survivor. That's why people call him chosen. Because no matter how many storms hit, Boosie finds a way to crawl out and keep swinging. You hear it every time he raps. It ain't just bars, it's blood on the beat. Pain, truth, and raw soul in every line. That's why tracks like Love Your Family will forever stand as classics, because they ain't just songs, they're life lessons stamped in sound. And Fredo, man, his role in this story might carry the most weight of them all. For him to put aside everything tied to G Money's death, to even sit on a call with the same op who disrespected his loved one, that's not rap politics. That's not about proving toughness. That's about being a man. That's about realizing holding hate only poisons you from the inside. It takes real strength to look pain dead in the eye and still choose growth. Fredo Bang choosing that convo shows he's walking into a new chapter, one that's way bigger than street codes. And right there, that's the thread tying all of this together. Manhood, growth, forgiveness. These dudes ain't just rappers anymore. They're fathers, leaders, and examples of how to evolve. Fredo stepping up, Kevin Gates stepping up, Boosie stepping up, NBA YoungBoy stepping up. They're showing the culture that the bravest move ain't pulling triggers or dropping another diss. It's letting go of years of anger weighing you down. That's real power. That's what true maturity looks like. And don't get it twisted. Forgiveness don't mean they're suddenly best friends chilling at each other's crib every weekend. What it means is freedom, dropping the baggage, releasing the hate, and moving forward without chains on your chest. That's a different type of strength. Boosie even dropped some honesty in that interview that showed just how far he's come. He admitted that when he first jumped in the rap game, his mindset was boxed in. Back then, if you weren't a gangster rapper, he thought you weren't legit. In his eyes, only the voices from the trenches counted, and because of that, he didn't even want to collab with artists who weren't cut from the same street cloth. If you weren't stamped by the block, he wasn't messing with you. But now, he sees the bigger picture clear as day. He realizes it ain't just about proving how real you are. It's about business, about legacy. Hip-hop, at the end of the day, is entertainment. And a lot of rappers winning big never live the stories they spit. But guess what? They're still charting, selling out tours, and building empires. Meanwhile, too many of the real ones, the rappers who kept it 100% street, ended up in caskets or prison cells. And Boosie has seen that with his own eyes. Look at Lil Wayne, for example. He never wasted energy trying to prove he was the hardest on every track. He just kept entertaining, kept reinventing, and because of that, he's still here, thriving decades into his career. And now that's the same perspective Boosie is stepping into, and it's powerful to watch that evolution in real time. So when we talk about this FaceTime call, don't treat it like some regular phone chat. Nah, this moment is symbolic. It's bigger than rap, Bigger than Baton Rouge even, this is a cultural turning point. For the first time ever, Boosie, NBA YoungBoy, Kevin Gates, and Fredo Bang sat on the same line together. That type of unity was overdue, and the city needed it. The culture needed it. It's like somebody opened a pressure valve, letting out all that tension and giving people hope that Baton Rouge music can finally move forward without being chained to the past. And Boosie ain't stopping there either. He teased that him and Kevin Gates got brand new music coming, and according to him, it's nothing but straight fire. He didn't even hesitate when he said it. He already knows it's gonna shake the streets to the core. If that collab really drops, it won't just go crazy in Baton Rouge, it's gonna hit national levels, no question. Fans been waiting years for this type of energy, and it might finally be here. But listen, this is only the beginning. What we're seeing right now is history in motion, and I'll keep breaking it down for you as more unfolds. For now, do me a solid. Smash that like button, share this with your people, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think about this once-in-a-lifetime Baton Rouge moment. It's unity, it's growth, it's healing, and most importantly, it's history. See you on the next one.